video, we're going to talk about how to reach out to expert partners, and we're also going to talk about contracts. In your membership site, we're giving you the script that we use to reach out. It's just a template for you. You're welcome to tweak it. But here's what our reach out process looks like. The first thing we do is we choose the best form for where we're going to reach out to them. It's usually going to be either through LinkedIn or through Facebook Messenger. We just get way better responses when we reach out through those two. Now, I will say, Facebook has just recently made a change. They got rid of the other folder, and so if you are going to be sending Facebook messages, you really should send them a Facebook friend request first so that they get your message. If you send the message first, they may or may not see it. Since they've made that change, sometimes I get messages from people and sometimes I don't. I've had people post on my wall, hey, I messaged you, did you see it? And I'm like, no. And I don't get that message ever. Like if they sent it before we were friends, I'm just not getting it at all. So I would recommend friend them first and then send the message, or you can send it through LinkedIn. So when you send the reach out, what you're wanting to do in the reach out is really three purposes. Number one, and let's go ahead, we'll write these down. Okay, here we go. Whiteboard. Number one that we're wanting to include in there, we want to sell the event purpose. So we're going to get them enrolled into the purpose of the event. What is the good that we're trying to do? Because here's what I'll tell you. As much as people care about the bottom line, they really care about, is this a cause that they relate to? Is there something in it that catches their interest? And so we do want to sell the purpose of the event. What good is it going to do? What's the value that we're going to bring to other people? The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to show what's in it for them. What are the benefits? What can they gain from it? And we want to share with them, you know, things like on my expert summits, I tell them this is a marketing opportunity for all of us. So we're going to do a lot of great good, but this is a marketing opportunity for all of us. And we're looking for partners who will help us in promoting this event, and also we'll share the list with you at the end. You can offer on the end of your video, and anything you sell is yours. So we have pretty open, we're really tight on who we let into the Expert Summit, and then we're really open with what happens on the Expert Summit. And like I mentioned earlier, some people do that differently. Some people are really open and they'll let a lot of people into the summit, but then they're pretty tight in terms of they can't sell, they can only lead generate, they're not going to get the list, things like that. So we're going to show them specifically what's in it for them, and then we're also going to touch on what is required from them. Now, we don't want to overwhelm them at this point. So usually what I'll say in mine is, so we make it pretty simple. We've been doing this for a while, and we've got a really good system down. So all that's required from you is 2 emails to your list, 2 social media promos, and sending a video to us with your bio headshot. We try to keep it pretty simple. We don't give them a super long list, because if we do at that point, they're likely to say no and check out. So that's what we reach out with. Then what we'll do is do our initial reach outs, where we'll send it out to a big group of people all at once, and we see who responds back. Just a hint, sometimes people who are really quick to respond back are very excited because you're a much bigger fish than they are. And we are looking for people who are kind of on our same level or maybe bigger in the Expert Summit space. So if we get someone who sends back and they're really too small for the Expert Summit, you can set up a time to talk with them. You won't know until you get on the phone and you start talking about list size and promotions and requirements. And sometimes they'll say, oh, you know, my list is kind of small right now. Well, that might be somebody that is too small for your Expert Summit, but they might be a great joint venture partner for just a webinar. Maybe they don't have a huge list, but they can bring out 20 people. Okay, we take 20 leads on a venture webinar. So see if you can partner with them in other ways or places. So sometimes those ones who are super excited, they're super excited because they're a little too small for this. and they're just honored to ask them, but they can still be valuable in other places. Then you've got people who they'll respond back after a few days and they'll kind of ask more questions. Definitely get on the phone with them and see if they're a good fit. Sometimes I'll tell you the people who are bigger and they also are really busy, you might not get them in that expert summit. You might need to shoot for the one after because they're booked out, or it doesn't fit in their promotion schedule, or it just takes a little bit more layering, more than one reach out in order to get a hold of them. Sometimes bigger people, you have to nurture that relationship longer before they're open to joining you on an expert summit. So that negotiation time, what we do is we get on the phone with them, we have a conversation, and we, again, do this exact conversation. We sell the purpose of the event, we sell our excitement for it, our passion, we talk to them about who's going to be participating, we talk to them about the benefits of what's in it for them, and then we ask questions. So we are going to ask questions about what their list size is. Do they promote events like this? In the past, when they promoted an event like this, how did their registrations go? And we're just trying to gauge if they're going to be a good fit for this or not. And again, if they're not, we'll let them know. We'll say, hey, I love your message. I love what you do. For this event, we're really looking for more of these types of things. But if you're interested in partnering different ways, we've got our radio show, we've got, our joint venture conference call or joint venture webinar. You can decide where you want to direct them to. And if they're just not a fit, just tell them, just say, I'm so glad I got to meet you and talk with you. I don't feel like this is a fit at this point in time, but let's keep in touch. If something different comes up in the future, I'm open to talking about it. We don't want to move forward with people who aren't a good fit. And here's the tricky part. You may really like them. They may be awesome. You may think their message is totally inspiring and you'd love to introduce them to all your people. But if they're not able to reciprocate and introduce the right people to you, then it's probably not a fit. So we're looking for the right audience. Is their audience your audience you're looking for? We are looking for also, let's write this down. What are we looking for? We are looking for, here we go. The right audience, and we are looking for the right list size. We are looking for the right message, and we are looking for a commitment to partner with us. You can tell when people are only there to take and they're not there to gain. You can kind of get a feel for them. And so don't partner with those types of people. We want people who really will partner with us and help promote this event. Okay, last thing on this video that we're going to touch on is your agreements. You also have in the membership site a copy of our agreement. And I'm not saying you have to use it. I'm just giving it to you as a sample. It's a simple agreement. It may not hold up in a court of law. I don't know. But here's what I will tell you about it. It gets people committed. And I'm not going to prosecute somebody who doesn't follow through with what they agreed to in this. But when I get a written agreement from someone, then what that does is it gives me permission to hold them accountable for what they said they would do, and it gives me permission to pull them out if they're not playing. I have had people before that we have pulled out of expert summits because they wouldn't, they said they would promote, and then we got there and they wouldn't promote. But they were so excited for us to send their video to 5,000 people. I mean, not 5,000, but you know what I mean. And it gives me grounds to say, the arrangement was, and the agreement was, that you were going to promote, and I totally understand that for whatever reason that doesn't fit for you right now. So we'll just take your name off of the information and we'll let you not participate this time. And you have permission to do that because they agreed in writing. Now that doesn't happen often. Most of the time what happens is they're very willing to promote, but they're also very busy. And they also need reminders. And so your next video is going to teach you how to babysit your partners. So go ahead and check in with that one. Thanks, you guys.